I don't know whether to laugh or cry, and I don't know whether to live or die.
How do you draw the inspiration from landscape and nature?
It's weird, you know, like I wasn't really a nature boy growing up, you know. I grew up in the suburbs of New York City, and so I did have, you know, trees and woods and all that stuff, but I didn't like it. I just wanted to be in the city, you know, you know, and even now, like I live in the city again. I live in Paris now, and it's urban, but there's something about the more I learn, you know, my relationship with nature is imaginary and intuitive, you know,
like poetry, which is still visual, with words.
Exactly, you know, it's like for instance, my interest in volcanoes doesn't stem from, you know, like I'll hear something, you know, like
spontaneous.
I'll learn about, you know, the fact that there are more volcanoes under the ocean than there are on land, you know, and stuff. When I hear information, it gets me thinking.
It's like a hint that opens up doors.
Yeah, it literally opens up something, and it gets me thinking. And those worlds, like space, you know, it's like I can either go deep nature or deep space.
Yeah.
Either way, what my goal is, what I'm trying to express is deep self. And so deep nature, deep space, deep sea, all help me express the deepest aspects of myself.
Probably because nature somehow expresses as a language emotions that sometimes maybe words aren't able to express.
And then there's also the idea of painting a picture. Like there's in the poem that I read tonight, Volcanic Memory, there's a line, and that poem is kind of written from the perspective of a whale that washes up on the shore, you know, as it happens sometimes. And imagining those, you know, those whales, those gigantic, you know, huge, gray whale or something, you know, or blue whale, and I imagined it washing up on a shore and seeing a city, seeing a skyline, and this, you know, and those buildings there looking to the whale, like big whales standing straight up, like. And so there's a line in the poem saying, you know, in the skyline of this city are the whales we used to be, you know, and but the transference of we're building more and more, and they're dying more and more, you know.
The paradox of the two.
The paradox of the two is intriguing to me, and the world that he's from, you know, is intriguing to me. Just as the world that I'm from is, you know, it's all works as metaphor. But when I am able to actually encounter nature, it's truly inspiring.
Yeah, because you know, your curiosity grows to get new motivation.
Yeah, but it didn't start for me until right when you know, nature had a big deal to do with how I began starting to write poetry. Like I kept my first journal when my mom taught in Africa for a year as an exchange teacher from New York. She went to the Gambia and taught English and math. And when I graduated from university, my graduation gift was to go visit her for her last month there. And we took a train from Dakar, Senegal, to Bamako, Mali. And on that train ride, late at night, I was about to go to sleep, and I wanted to turn off the car in the room, you know, on the train. I wanted to turn off the light in the car, and I couldn't find the light. So I was like, maybe it's coming from outside of the train. Why is it so bright in here? And I went to the window.
The moonlight.
And the moon was like, and being from New York, you know, there's so much artificial light in New York that you can never be too amazed by the sky.
And this had a different intensity.
This was crazy going through Africa, and I was like, I spent the rest of the night out looking out the window like, oh my God. And that was and I wrote about it then. And so there was a few things I discovered that night. The moon, stars, that trip I discovered the wind. Somehow, you know, I think that it was on that trip that I wrote the wind is the moon's imagination wandering. It was the whole idea. There was so much that
by the way, that part of your poem is incredible.
Oh.
And how it ends. How do I love you?
Imagine.
Oh, that's like escalation.
You know that poem. That's good. Oh yeah, that's in that book. Yeah.
I love that part.